Channeling is a practice where individuals claim to receive messages, wisdom, or information from non-physical or extraterrestrial entities through their consciousness. One such form of channeling is the Pleiadian High Council channeling. This phenomenon is associated with the belief that a group of benevolent beings from the Pleiades star cluster, known as the Pleiadian High Council, communicate with humans on Earth to offer guidance, wisdom, and support. Here, we'll delve into this concept, exploring its origins, characteristics, and the beliefs surrounding it. Stay connected till the end as we are going to explore in detail about this topic. The Pleiades is a star cluster located in the Taurus constellation, approximately 444 light-years away from Earth. It's often referred to as the Seven Sisters, and has been the subject of fascination in various cultures throughout history. In the realm of channeling, some individuals claim that they can connect with a group of highly evolved, spiritual beings known as the Pleiadians. The Pleiadian High Council is believed to be a council of advanced beings who come from the Pleiades star system. According to channelers, these beings possess a higher level of consciousness and wisdom than humans and are dedicated to helping humanity evolve spiritually and overcome challenges on Earth. They are often described as benevolent, compassionate, and loving entities. Channeling is typically performed by individuals who claim to have the ability to connect with higher dimensional entities like the Pleiadian High Council. The process can vary from one channeler to another, but it generally involves the following steps. First, preparation. Channelers often go through a preparatory ritual or meditation to raise their vibrational frequency and open themselves up to higher energies. It's an essential part of the channeling process, setting the stage for the channeler to enter an altered state of consciousness or heightened awareness, making it possible to receive messages or guidance from these entities. Channelers often believe that raising their vibrational frequency is crucial to connect with higher dimensional beings like the Pleiadian High Council. This can be achieved through various methods, including meditation, deep breathing exercises, and visualization. The purpose is to elevate their energy and align it with the higher frequencies of the entities they wish to channel. Many channelers start with a meditation session or relaxation techniques. This helps them clear their minds of distractions, release tension, and create a peaceful mental and emotional state. It's important because a calm and focused mind is more receptive to subtle energies and messages. Before beginning the channeling session, channelers often set their intentions. They clarify their purpose, what kind of guidance or information they seek from the Pleiadian High Council, and why they are reaching out to these beings. Intentions serve as a way to establish a clear and focused connection. Some channelers also take protective measures, such as visualizing a protective energy field or invoking spiritual protection from any negative or unwanted energies. This is done to ensure a safe and positive channeling experience. Many channelers prefer to conduct their channeling sessions in a quiet, peaceful, and dedicated space. They may decorate this space with symbols, crystals, or other items they believe enhance the connection. The creation of a sacred space helps them set the mood and establish a sense of reverence for the process. Channelers aim to clear their minds of clutter and distractions. This involves letting go of worries, doubts, and preconceived notions that might interfere with the channeling process. An open and receptive mind is essential for receiving messages. Controlled breathing techniques are often used to achieve a state of relaxation and focus. Deep, slow breaths can help channelers enter an altered state of consciousness more easily. At this stage, channelers may invoke the presence of the Pleiadian High Council or specific Pleiadian beings through meditation or spoken words. This is where they formally request contact and guidance. Overall, The preparation phase in Pleiadian High Council channeling serves to create an environment conducive to spiritual connection and communication. It sets the stage for the channeler to enter a receptive state of mind and heart, allowing them to channel messages, insights, and guidance from these higher dimensional entities. It's a deeply personal and ritualistic process that varies from one channeler to another, reflecting their unique beliefs and practices. Second is invitation. The channeler mentally or verbally invites the Pleiadian High Council or specific Pleiadian beings to communicate with them. This phase is pivotal because it marks the beginning of the channeling session and sets the intention for connecting with these higher dimensional entities. The invitation is a ritualistic or symbolic act performed by the channeler to initiate contact with the Pleiadian High Council. Its primary purpose is to establish a conscious and deliberate connection with these beings for the purpose of receiving guidance, wisdom, or information. During the invitation, the channeler focuses on their intent, clarifying why they are seeking contact with the Pleiadian High Council. This intent may be related to personal growth, spiritual insights, healing, or seeking guidance on specific life issues. Clarity of intent helps ensure that the communication is purposeful and relevant. The invitation can take different forms, depending on the channeler's preferences and practices. Some channelers enter a meditative state, where they mentally send out their invitation to the Pleiadian High Council. They may visualize a portal, a cosmic connection, or simply imagine reaching out with their thoughts and intentions. Others may use spoken words or affirmations to formally invite the Pleiadian High Council. This can involve addressing the beings by name or collectively, expressing their desire for communication, and affirming their openness and receptivity. During the invitation, channelers often take a moment to align themselves with the energy and consciousness of the Pleiadian beings. This involves mentally attuning themselves to the higher vibrations and frequencies associated with the Pleiadian High Council. The act of inviting the Pleiadian High Council is also about establishing trust and rapport. Channelers often express their willingness to work with these entities in a spirit of mutual respect and collaboration. In some cases, channelers may set boundaries or conditions for the communication. For example, they may request that only beings of the highest light and love are allowed to communicate, or they may specify the duration of the channeling session. Some channelers use symbolic gestures or objects during the invitation. This could include lighting candles, holding crystals, or using sacred symbols that they believe help facilitate the connection. After extending the invitation, channelers typically enter a state of quiet reception, where they remain open and attentive to any sensations, thoughts, images, or messages that may arise. They await the response or communication from the Pleiadian High Council. In general, the invitation phase in Pleiadian High Council channeling is a deliberate and mindful step where channelers request the presence and communication of these higher dimensional beings. It is characterized by a clear intent, rituals or practices that symbolize the connection, and a receptive attitude to receive guidance and wisdom from the Pleiadian High Council. This phase marks the beginning of the channeling process and sets the stage for the exchange of information and insights. Third is channeling. During this phase, the channeler claims to enter a trance-like state or altered state of consciousness. They may speak or write down the messages they receive from the Pleiadian High Council. Some channelers also claim to receive visual or telepathic information. This is where individuals claim to enter an altered state of consciousness or heightened awareness to facilitate communication with the Pleiadian High Council or other higher dimensional entities. During this phase, channelers believe they receive messages, guidance, or insights from these beings. Channeling typically involves shifting from the normal waking state of consciousness into an altered state. This can be likened to a deep meditative or trance-like state where the channeler's awareness is heightened and their perception of reality may be altered. In this altered state, channelers believe they connect with higher vibrational energies associated with the Pleiadian High Council. They may describe this as feeling an increased sense of love, light, and unity with the universe. The communication with the Pleiadian High Council can take various forms. Some channelers speak aloud during the channeling session, relaying the messages they receive from the Pleiadian beings. They may speak in a different voice or tone, which they attribute to the entity they are channeling. Others engage in automatic writing, where they allow their hands to move freely across a paper or keyboard, supposedly guided by the Pleiadian High Council. This results in written messages or text that they attribute to these beings. Some channelers claim to receive messages telepathically, experiencing a form of mental communication with the Pleiadian High Council. They may receive images, thoughts, or a strong inner knowing. A few channelers report receiving visual insights or visions during the channeling process. They describe seeing symbols, scenes, or other visual representations that convey messages and guidance. Channelers often emphasize that they act as passive receptors during this phase. They claim to surrender their conscious mind and ego, allowing the Pleiadian High Council to use their body, voice, or mind as a conduit for communication. Messages received during channeling can vary widely in content. They may include guidance on personal development, spiritual growth, healing, planetary evolution, and insights into higher cosmic truths. Channelers typically convey these messages as coming from a place of love, wisdom, and compassion. Channeling sessions can range from a few minutes to much longer, depending on the channeler's comfort and ability to maintain the altered state of consciousness. Many channelers record their channeling sessions to capture the messages accurately. This documentation helps in interpreting, sharing, and reflecting upon the received guidance. It's important to note that channeling is a highly controversial practice, and skepticism is common. Critics argue that the messages received during channeling may be a product of the channeler's subconscious mind, or even deliberate deception. Supporters, on the other hand, believe in the authenticity of the messages and consider channeling a valuable source of spiritual guidance and insights. In summary, the channeling phase in Pleiadian High Council channeling is where individuals claim to establish a connection with higher dimensional beings, allowing them to receive messages and guidance. It involves altered states of consciousness, various communication methods, and a sense of passively receiving information from the Pleiadian High Council or similar entities. This phase is central to the channeling process and the transmission of perceived wisdom and insights. Fourth is interpretation. After the channeling session, the channeler interprets and conveys the received messages to others. This often involves conveying guidance, wisdom, and insights about spiritual growth, healing, and personal development. During this phase, individuals who have claimed to receive messages or guidance from the Pleiadian High Council, or similar higher dimensional entities, work to understand, translate, and convey the information they have received into a form that can be comprehended and utilized by themselves and others. After the channeling session, channelers often find themselves with a stream of information, which may include spoken words, written text, if they used automatic writing, mental images, or telepathic insights. The interpretation phase involves the process of comprehending and extracting meaning from these messages. The information received during channeling can be vast and complex. Channelers may need to sort through the messages to identify key points, themes, and guidance provided by the Pleiadian High Council. This process helps them organize the information for easier understanding and communication. Channelers often consider how the received messages relate to their own lives, experiences, and questions. They may explore the personal significance of the guidance and how it might apply to their individual journey of spiritual growth and development. During the interpretation phase, channelers may seek validation by comparing the messages received in different channeling sessions or by consulting with others who are experienced in similar practices. This can help ensure the consistency and reliability of the guidance. Translating the received messages into human language is a critical part of interpretation. Channelers must find words, phrases, or symbols that effectively convey the intended meanings and insights. This often involves adapting the messages to the linguistic and cultural context of their audience. Channelers must be mindful of their own beliefs, biases, and interpretations that may inadvertently influence how they understand and convey the messages. The goal is to stay as faithful as possible to the original guidance. Once the interpretation is complete, channelers may use the guidance for various purposes, such as personal growth, healing, spiritual development, or sharing with others. The messages may offer insights into areas such as relationships, life challenges, and the broader context of human existence. Many channelers choose to share the messages they receive with a wider audience through books, websites, workshops, or social media platforms. This allows others to benefit from the wisdom and insights claimed to be provided by the Pleiadian High Council. Channelers often consider the ethical implications of sharing channeled messages. They may emphasize the importance of using the information for positive and constructive purposes, promoting love, healing, and personal growth. Interpretation is not a one-time process but an ongoing endeavor. Channelers may revisit and reflect on the received messages over time, gaining deeper insights and understanding as their own awareness evolves. It's important to note that the authenticity and reliability of channeled messages, including those from the Pleiadian High Council, are subjects of debate and skepticism within the broader community. Some individuals place great trust in such messages, while others approach them with caution and critical scrutiny. The interpretation phase plays a pivotal role in shaping how these messages are understood, shared, and applied by those who engage in channeling practices. This comes to our next topic, themes in Pleiadian High Council channeling. Themes in Pleiadian High Council channeling refers to the recurring and common subjects, topics, or messages that are claimed to be conveyed by individuals who engage in channeling sessions with the Pleiadian High Council or similar higher dimensional entities. These themes represent the guidance, insights, and wisdom attributed to these beings and often revolve around specific areas of interest and importance. One of the primary themes in Pleiadian High Council channeling is spiritual growth and awakening. Channelers claim that the Pleiadian beings offer guidance on how individuals can evolve spiritually, raise their consciousness, and expand their awareness. This guidance may include practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection. Channelers often assert that the Pleiadian High Council provides insights into emotional, mental, and physical healing. This can include guidance on energy healing, holistic health, and strategies for overcoming emotional wounds and traumas. Empowerment is a recurring theme, with messages emphasizing the importance of self-empowerment, self-love, and self-acceptance. The Pleiadian High Council is often portrayed as encouraging individuals to take control of their lives and create positive change. Some channelers suggest that the Pleiadian beings provide information about the broader evolution of Earth and humanity. This can include discussions about ascension, planetary shifts, and humanity's role in supporting the positive transformation of the planet. Many channeled messages stress the idea of unity and oneness, emphasizing that all living beings are interconnected and that love and compassion are essential for harmonious existence. These messages often encourage people to transcend divisions and embrace a sense of global or cosmic unity. Messages from the Pleiadian High Council may include teachings about higher cosmic truths and universal principles. This can encompass topics such as the nature of consciousness, the multidimensionality of existence, and the interconnectedness of all life in the universe. Love and compassion are core themes in Pleiadian High Council channeling. The messages often highlight the transformative power of love and encourage individuals to cultivate love and compassion in their lives and relationships. Some channelers claim that the Pleiadian beings express concerns about the state of the Earth's environment and advocate for greater ecological awareness and responsible stewardship of the planet. The Pleiadian High Council is often described as providing personal guidance and insights to individuals. This can include advice on relationships, career choices, life purpose, and overcoming challenges. Channelers may receive teachings on spiritual and metaphysical concepts, such as the nature of the soul, the afterlife, and the interconnectedness of all spiritual beings. It's important to note that the specific messages and themes in Pleiadian High Council channeling can vary among different channelers. While some people find great meaning and inspiration in these messages, others approach them with skepticism. The themes mentioned above represent common threads that tend to emerge in such channeling sessions, reflecting the alleged guidance and wisdom attributed to the Pleiadian High Council. Our final part is criticisms and skepticism. Pleiadian High Council channeling is a highly controversial practice. Critics argue that there is no empirical evidence to support the claims made by channelers, and that it may be a form of self-deception or even exploitation. Skeptics caution against accepting channeled messages uncritically and advise a healthy dose of skepticism when evaluating such claims. While many individuals believe in and embrace these channeling experiences, there are also critics and skeptics who question their authenticity and validity. Here's an explanation of some common criticisms and skepticism associated with this practice. One of the primary criticisms is the absence of empirical evidence to support the claims made by channelers. Skeptics argue that the messages and insights received during channeling sessions cannot be independently verified, making it difficult to assess their accuracy or authenticity. Some skeptics propose that channeling experiences can be explained through psychological and cognitive processes, such as the workings of the subconscious mind. They suggest that the messages may be the product of the channeler's own thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. Critics raise concerns about the possibility of deception in channeling. They argue that some channelers may knowingly or unknowingly fabricate messages or exaggerate their abilities to gain followers, attention, or financial support. Skeptics point out that the interpretation of channeled messages can be heavily influenced by the channeler's pre-existing beliefs, cultural background, and personal biases. This influence may lead to messages that align with the channeler's worldview. Critics note that channeling messages can vary widely from one channeler to another, even when claiming to connect with the same higher dimensional entities like the Pleiadian High Council. Inconsistencies in the messages raise questions about their reliability. Some skeptics express concern that vulnerable individuals seeking guidance may be more susceptible to manipulation by unscrupulous channelers who claim to have exclusive access to higher truths. Skeptics highlight the commercial aspect of some channeling practices, where channelers charge fees for workshops, readings, or access to channeled messages. They argue that this can create financial incentives that compromise the integrity of the practice. Critics often point out the absence of scientific validation for the claims made in channeling. The scientific community generally views channeling as pseudoscience due to the lack of empirical evidence and testable hypotheses. Skeptics and critics emphasize the need for ethical considerations in channeling practices. They argue that channelers should be transparent about their intentions, methods, and the source of their messages to ensure the well-being of those who seek guidance. Some skeptics argue that there are alternative, evidence-based practices for personal growth, healing, and spiritual development that do not rely on channeling or unverifiable messages from higher dimensional entities. It's important to acknowledge that the criticism and skepticism surrounding Pleiadian High Council channeling do not negate the personal experiences and beliefs of those who engage in these practices. People have diverse spiritual and metaphysical beliefs, and while some find value and meaning in channeling, others may approach it with doubt or caution. As with any spiritual or metaphysical practice, individuals are encouraged to exercise critical thinking, discernment, and an open-minded yet skeptical approach when evaluating channeled messages and their authenticity. In conclusion, Pleiadian High Council channeling is a phenomenon in which individuals claim to receive guidance and wisdom from a group of advanced beings from the Pleiades star system. This practice is deeply rooted in the realms of spirituality, metaphysics, and the belief in extraterrestrial intelligence. Whether one chooses to believe in these channelings or not, it remains a subject of intrigue and fascination for those seeking spiritual growth and insights from beyond our earthly realm. It's essential to approach such claims with an open mind while maintaining a critical perspective,